back at it. We've got Jesus Saves with us. Hopefully your connection is a little bit tighter. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
I can hear it. Yeah.
You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, sweet. So like I've listened a little bit of I don't know how the YouTube algorithm had found its way to let me see some of your content. I'm a believer in Yeshua HaMashiach, right? Jesus Christ. And so like you say you don't, I've heard you say you don't believe in spirits. And so it's like, okay, well, how do you, one big question I think that anybody that would, ever be sensible would be like, how can you prove God? And knowing, if you're a believer, that God could easily prove himself. And so then there's these things that, pop up. And so you go across all across the board. And I'm like, all right, well, and then you're listening and you're like, okay, well, he doesn't even believe in spirit. So like God says himself, he's spirit. But then you're like, I don't believe in any spirits. And then it's just like, okay, well, what do you do with that? And then there's like questions that pop up right there. It's like, okay, well, Ouija boards, now how do those work? And people, I mean, you'd have to say millions of people are lying about that, right?
Yeah,
And
that's not
friends
even
have
hard.
close experiences.
Yeah, the
Well, hold on.
Ouija boards
Hold on.
are
Wait.
what we might
So
classify
I
as
got a roommate.
psychosomatic.
I got a
Like they're a
roommate.
phenomenon that
No, hold on.
happens through the placebo effect.
Well, I have a roommate, and I've heard this is my friend for years, and it's not like a topic of every day where like, hey, have you heard about some spirits or something? No, it's not like that. It's just like one day we'll be chilling. He's had multiple things. He said he's been in his grandma's house. This was before I was ever a believer. You know what I'm saying? I was like a street dude selling, weed and stuff, and he'd be like, bro, over at my grandma's house, this place is haunted. He'd be like, I'll be down there playing a video game. All of a sudden, in the back, a stove will fling open and stuff will come to flying out of it, because they would have
you seen it?
like pans in it, huh?
Have you seen it?
Well, I'm telling you a testimony
I've
of my friend, right?
I don't know if you know this. I don't believe testimony of somebody's friends. That's not evidence.
No. I feel you. So I'm hearing the story just like you, right? I'm hearing the story just like you, but he's like, this has happened, and he's also had other encounters, right?
I'm
and
sure
you can
he
hear
has.
these stories across.
I'm sure he has stories. There's lots of stories about fake spiritual encounters that never happened.
I mean, but also people do have their experiences when they go to touch the Ouija board, and they have their own accounts,
I've never
right?
seen it.
But so you're like poltergeist and all that footage and all of it is just nothing.
It's fantasy,
to
man.
you, right? Right. So then it was like, okay, sweet. But then you're like, okay, it seems like, so like on your page you have like ex pastor. So it seems like at one point you were like believing and then you kind of walked away. Is that what that is? Or like what is the Justin story of learning the Bible?
I believed it and then now I don't believe. Is that difficult to understand?
Oh, no. I was just asking. So you did teach about God, preach. You were out talking about God, right?
I just told you I used to believe, yeah.
Because that's what okay. And then now you talk about God all day still.
Yeah. Because the Christian religion is dangerous.
Okay.
So
right, okay.
If you used to believe in vampires and then you lived in a country where people wanted everyone to believe in vampires and were making you live by vampire laws, and you were like, listen, I don't actually think vampires exist. Maybe we shouldn't be doing all this. Do you think you'd be justified in saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this vampire thing?
No. It's just like you still talk about God. So you believe in God. You talked about him all day. You don't believe in God. You still talk about him all day.
Right.
God bless.
Because it turned out that it wasn't true.
God bless.
And I think that it's good to believe things that are true.
Okay. So then I'm like,
do you have any evidence that it's
all
true?
That's left. No, hold on.
So you
all
don't.
That's left. There's hold on. There's all that's left.
I want to clear this up. You don't have any evidence, though, right?
Of what?
Of God being real.
Well, that's what we're getting into. So all that's left with.
It's funny that you can't say yes or no. Jesus says you can do whatever script you want to. I just want you to answer this
No, no,
one
no, no,
question.
no, no. It's not a script. It's just
Okay,
like
then answer the
it's
question. Do you have evidence or an argument?
yeah.
Okay, let's
That's
have
what we're
that.
getting
That's
to.
what I
So
want.
all that's left is now let's dive into the name of Yod He Wahe.
You're not going
Let's
to like
dive
this. Do
into
you
the
know
name.
Hebrew?
So hold on.
No,
So with the
I'm not going to hold
name,
on. I asked you a simple question. It's not your live stream. Do you know Hebrew?
well, that's what we're.
Answer
I
the
know that you know
question,
a little
Jesus
bit.
saves. Do you know Hebrew? It's a yes or no question.
I've studied what I've studied.
So the answer is no, you don't. Okay, so now you want to give me a lesson on Hebrew. Go for it.
All right, sweet. So, like, it's easy because, like, you know that names had a meaning. Like Moses was drew from the water. Like the name had meaning. Like they weren't running around with random names in the whole Hebrew culture because you're talking about Israel and Hebrew that they believed in the names, right? So let's dive into the names, right? The
Fine.
Yod-Heh Wahe in
Are any
Paleo-Hebrew
of the
was
names
pictorial in
are hold
nature. It
on.
means
Just
hand behold, nail
just
behold when it was written.
just stop talking. Hold
Hand
on.
behold, nail behold.
Okay, you're muted. So I got a violation on YouTube. It says live restricted for some audience. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted for alcohol, tobacco, or drugs, which is weird because we didn't mention any of those things. I don't know how that happened to be. Oh, I see. I put an image on the screen that has a flaming tire, and now it thinks that we're talking about smoking. Okay. Well, in that case, let me remove that image. I thought it was going to be fun, but apparently it's not fun. Now I got to restart the TikTok stream. Okay, sorry guys on TikTok, I got to restart the stream. Oh, the guest. Oh, Crystal says the guest said he used to sell smugs. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize he said that. That makes sense that he would say something like that. All right, let me restart the TikTok stream for the third time, and we'll get it going. Okay, TikTok stream's open again. Sorry about that. And we'll continue where we left off. Okay, so Jesus says, what's your name, by the way? I don't want to call you Jesus.
I mean, it's all praise be to Yah, though.
What's your name?
Joshua.
Is your name Joshua in real life?
That's my name.
Okay, Josh, let's talk. Okay, so does any of the names of Jesus end in proof that God is real?
Well, that's the name.
I didn't ask you what
His
you think
name
his name is. I'm asking
everything.
you if his
So,
name
like, for
ends
instance,
in evidence that
well,
God is
for
real.
instance, you said is a spirit a verb? Yeah, because Yah means I am. He exists. The
The word
existing
spirit is
one
not a
is an
verb.
action.
The word spirit's not a
Huh?
verb,
What?
it's a noun.
Yahweh,
Yahweh's a
when said as a
name.
verb. Hold on. Wait. Yahweh, when said as a verb,
This can't
means
be
to be.
happening. Yeah, but the word spirit is a different word. Did you know that spirit
His
in
name's Yahweh.
Did you know that spirit is a different word?
But Yahweh, when said as a verb, means to be. Yahweh
But
said
the
his
word
name as a verb
spirit
to
is a
Moses.
different word.
You said what?
The word spirit
Spirit.
is a different word. The word to be in Hebrew is not the same word as spirit. So
No,
spirit is not a verb.
Yahweh.
Spirit is a noun.
Yahweh, when said as a verb, means to be. You can Google it.
We all know the origin
You
of the
can
name of
literally
Yahweh.
Google
I'm talking about the thing you just said. You said the word spirit is a verb and it's not.
it. Yahweh is his name.
We're
Yahweh,
talking
when said
about
as
the
a verb.
word spirit, Josh.
hmm
Pay attention. You
hmm
said the word spirit is a verb. The word
No, we're talking
ruach in
about.
Hebrew is not a verb, it is a noun.
hmm Hakodesh, Ruach Hakodesh is the
Yes,
Holy
the Holy
Spirit.
Spirit. You got it. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not a verb, it is a noun.
But Yahweh. said as a verb,
Is Yahweh's name
means to
spirit
be.
or is it something else?
Yah is spirit. Yahweh is spirit.
Buddy, we're talking about the meaning of a word, the meaning of
We're
the
talking about
word.
Yah is a
No,
spirit.
we're not. I'm talking about the statement you made when you said the word spirit is a verb. It is not. The word that makes up Yahweh's name comes from a word that has a verbal root that is different than the word spirit. They're different words.
But I'm just saying that anybody who believes knows this.
They don't know it because you're lying.
Well, they believe it. You can't prove a belief,
You can't
right?
prove what
So,
people
but
believe either. So people who believe the nonsense you
no,
believe don't
it's an
believe that
opinion.
the
Yeah,
word spirit. And
a
I don't know
believing
if
is
you
an
know this.
opinion.
I don't know if you know this, but when you keep talking when I'm talking, no one can hear you. In fact, I'm going to turn your microphone down even lower. So they'll just hear you mumbling forever in the background. So I need you to actually focus on the statement. It doesn't even sound like it's an important statement, but the statement that you made was that the word spirit was a verb. Now, listen, that's not even important to the conversation. I'm just simply pointing out that the word spirit is not a verb. It is, in fact, a noun. God's name comes from a verb, but God's name is not ruach. Do you understand the difference between two different words?
I was going off of when you had said, "Give me spirit" and a verb on some old stuff. Like I said, I've listened to you before, man.
Giving me
You know what I'm
spirit
saying?
is still a
And I was just,
noun.
well, I'm just bringing up that his name literally is all of that,
It's not.
all of it.
Nope, it's not. Also, don't care. It doesn't make them
So,
real. I can
but,
name
but,
anybody anything I want to. It doesn't make them real. I want to know the argument.
but,
Again, no one can hear you. Why are you doing this? Stop it. It doesn't matter what somebody's name is. The name doesn't mean that the thing is real. Give me the argument for the thing being real.
okay. So Yahweh, or like Yahuwah, or the name or tetragram Yod He Wah
Yahuwah.
said in
Okay.
Paleo-Hebrew,
Do you know
like,
Paleo-Hebrew?
well, you can no, in Paleo-Hebrew they wrote it was pictorial in nature. It
No, it
meant
wasn't.
hand behold,
No, it
nail
didn't.
behold. You can look it
Nope.
up.
You're
You
wrong.
can look it
I've
up.
got it on the fucking back wall. You
Google
want to see
Yod
it?
He
I've
Wah
got it. I've got the alphabet on my back wall.
You,
I literally
dude,
have artwork with it. You don't know Paleo-Hebrew. Stop pretending you do.
it was pictorial in
No,
nature.
it fucking wasn't.
There was a representation of hand behold,
No,
nail behold,
there
dude.
is not. Paleo-Hebrew does not have
Yes.
individual meanings for the individual letters. That didn't happen. That was
Well,
invented by spiritualists during the period of the Kabbalah.
they knew it.
They didn't know it. They made it up.
They knew it, dude.
No, they didn't.
When it was written, it
This
meant
guy's
hand
fucking
behold, nail
embarrassing. No, it
behold.
didn't.
So who was to be Yahweh said as a verb to be from Moses' time, who would have nails in his hands?
You're wrong. Just pay fucking attention. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen with you because this is unfucking bearable. Hold on. Actually, I don't think I can share my screen with you. Well, this is for everyone else who's actually watching. So this is the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and mine's got an English interlinear translation with the Egyptian. And what you'll notice, let's see if we can get the
You can
focus.
Google
No, just stop talking. What you'll notice is that the individual symbols in this particular version of Egyptian, the individual symbols are related to syllables, not letters. They're syllables, right? So what happened in the history of languages is originally you had one picture that meant one entire idea, right? That's like the ancient Egyptian language was like that. The ancient cuneiform language was like that. And then they figured out, listen, we don't have that many syllables. We can just do a letter, an icon for every syllable, like ba, like ka, like ban, like ba. So they did. They still had like 2,000 different symbols, but they said, listen, this simplifies it. We don't need that many symbols anymore. We don't need 4,000 different symbols. And that was amazing. That helped a lot. The next progression in these ancient languages was they said, listen, we actually don't have that many singular sounds like the ba, ka. We don't have that many of those. We have like 25 of them. So what they did then is they took the symbols that initially were syllables, like the syllable for can became the letter for a k, ka. That's how they selected it. And they said, that's now what this symbol means. And they created a whole alphabet out of these ancient symbols that previously were syllables, that previously were ideas. By the time we got to the consonantal languages, the idea that a single letter was equal to a single idea was 2,000 years dead. It was gone. Doesn't exist anymore. The letters in the Hebrew language don't have any individual meaning. Somebody lied to you and you were gullible.
You can Google it.
I did Google it.
Yod, hey, why? Google.
I studied the fucking languages. You're wrong.
What does it tell you?
You're wrong.
What does it tell you?
I don't care what it tells me. You're wrong. I studied the language. I went to school to learn the language. Hebrew does not have individual letter meanings. They didn't. They haven't for thousands and thousands of years.
Mm-hmm. But you don't believe in spirits, so then what's the account of the flood? Like, so the flood never happened?
No, of course not. That's a fanciful story.
Okay. But the salt marks on the pyramids don't mean nothing either.
No, the Nile floods. You know the Nile floods, right?
Oh, okay.
Did you know that the Nile floods? Do you not know that?
I mean, I think the thing is like it's just so easy to.
Did you know that the Nile floods? Are you aware of this?
I'm sure.
Okay, and did you know did you know that the reason why the ocean is salty is because it's fed by rivers?
I mean, you'd have to take that up with just like who studies that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's many accounts of people that, you're getting to opinions because science is really hypothesis. That's all opinions, dude. So, but if we go into slaves, right? Because that's like something you like to talk about, and I dig it, right? The thing is, though, is like everybody's a slave. So the way the Bible portrays it is. Yeah, everybody is.
No, I'm not.
And you can't prove that you're not a slave.
I'm not. I know
everybody
I'm not.
Is.
Who owns me as property?
Everybody is.
Who beats me if I don't obey their command? Who?
No. That's not how modern day slavery works. Who beats me with a
stick? Who beats me with a stick if I don't obey them?
Do you control the dollar and whether or not you pay taxes?
Answer my question. Who beats me with a stick if I don't obey them?
Why is there inflation?
Who beats me?
Have you studied Federal Reserve?
I have. Who beats me with a stick?
Have you studied the Federal Reserve?
Answer a question, or I will keep talking over you. Who beats me with a stick when I don't obey? And who am I taking orders from?
Can you control how your kid is born?
If you don't answer the question, I will ask you 1,000 times the same fucking question. I know you're cowardly and you won't answer it, but answer the question.
Controls.
God
said he controls whether a kid.
And now you're muted. Okay. So we can do this the easy way, the hard way. You could be an honest interlocutor and stop fucking dodging my questions, or you can answer a question. This is not your live stream. Eventually, you have to answer a question. And I gave you an easy question, and you're a coward because you won't answer it. I asked you an easy one. Who am I taking orders from that will beat me with a rod if I don't obey them? Who is it?
Are you saying who will?
Who? Name the individual. Name the entity. Who's owning me as property and is going to bequeath me to their children when they die? Who's doing it?
Owning you as their property right now, the U.S. government, for sure.
No, you're wrong.
For sure. They own you, dude.
You're wrong.
You're a piece of paper.
No, you're wrong. Because
Security, dude.
You're wrong again. I can go and move to another country right now. They don't own me. The idea of owning somebody is that they don't have autonomy. They can't leave.
You're still under
they're your
You're
property.
Still under IMF.
No, I'm not under IMF. IMF doesn't cover USA.
Dude, where's your money?
Uh,
What do you mean?
Money
They
doesn't
own
exist.
that.
We invented it. Money isn't
I
real. I
know
don't know if
that.
you know this. Money doesn't
I
fucking
know that.
exist. So nobody
It's
owns me as
created.
property.
I know that though. That's something I know.
I don't think you know anything. I think you watch too much Ancient Aliens, and you probably think that
I
Bigfoot
know a dude,
exists.
one of his I know a dude went to there's a
What
court document. Dude went to court
I think you
and
need,
won his house because
no one's listening. What I think you need is to go get medicated. I think you've got adult ADHD. And listen, there's nothing wrong with having adult ADHD. A lot of adults have it. But this is why you can't stay on topic, and this is why you can't have a conversation, and this is why now I, who's been on a stream for like the last 6 hours, is yelling at a grown-ass man, is because you're not capable of having an adult conversation. And the reason is because you need to see a psychiatrist and get diagnosed with adult ADHD because you can't stay on topic. I want to have a linear conversation. I've been live too long to not have a linear conversation. I just want to have a linear conversation on one topic at a time, and you keep gish galloping to all kinds of bullshit that's not related. So I'll give you one last chance. Can you have a linear conversation on one topic at a time without gish galloping to some dumb, unrelated topic? We started talking about slavery. Now, what is the definite? If you look up slavery in a dictionary, what's slavery?
I don't have a dictionary in front of me, but
what do you think it would say? What do you think the definition of slavery is?
Well, I know the Bible says you're a slave to sin or a
I
slave
didn't
to
ask you that.
Christ.
I'm asking you,
That's what
what
I
do you think
believe.
the definition of slavery is?
Tell me.
I'm asking you, what do you think it is? You're the one telling me that the Bible doesn't endorse slavery. I want to know what you think a slave is.
A slave to sin or a slave to Christ. That's what I think a slave is.
You can't use the word in the definition. Try again.
I said, tell me.
So you don't know the definition of a slave? You don't?
Somebody that's owned.
Okay, yes. It's a person that's owned as property. They're forced to be there. They are forced to do work. They don't get compensated for the work, and they're not allowed to go. That is a slave. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
And okay, so none of those actually apply to me. Nobody owns me as property.
How?
No one's forcing me to do unpaid labor. Nobody's forcing me to stay in this country. None of those things are true.
You pay the prices at the grocery store.
No, that's voluntary. I don't have to.
You have nowhere else to go.
I don't have to barter. I don't have to exchange my labor for somebody else's labor. I don't have to do any of that. I could just as easily grow my own crops. Shit, my father was a fucking farmer. We did grow our own crops in the summertime. You don't have to exchange your labor for somebody else's labor. It's just easier that way because people have specialties. I don't want to be a farmer. I don't want to build my own cars. I do a specialized thing. I get currency in exchange for it, and then I willfully choose to give that money to somebody else for things that I want. I don't have to do it. No one's forcing me to do it. I choose to do it.
Doesn't the government look at us like that though?
No.
Because isn't your driving license is a privilege?
Yeah. And who paid for the service?
But it's a privilege.
Who pays to get their license?
Don't you pay taxes?
Answer the fucking question. Who pays for the roads and the license system? Who pays for all that?
Taxpayers.
Who pays it? Who hands out the money to make driver's license available? Who hands out the money to make roads happen? Who does it?
Taxpayers.
No. The fucking government does. The government is representative. They're paying the construction companies to make the roads. They're paying for the land to make the roads. They're the ones paying to have bureaus that we register vehicles who actually make sure that drivers are safe. They're doing all those things because we asked them to. We set up the government. Stop it. You're going to get fucking muted if you talk over me one more time. Stop it. We created the government. It's a representative government. We decided that we wanted government. And now we have government. The government does what we want it to do. It works for us. Sometimes we don't like it, but that's how democracy works. I don't have to agree with your form of government. You don't have to agree with my form of government. But you know what? I want to have a driver's license that you have to actually sign up for and prove that you're capable of driving. I don't want some jackass who just bought a car, has no idea how to drive, to get that thing on the road and drive like an asshole and kill 10 kids in a minivan. I don't want any of that shit. So this idea, this nonsense talking point that I'm a fucking slave because I have to apply to get a driver's license, I'm asking for that. I want that. That's how representative government works.
So that same government that the same people like you wanted the 3/5 compromise in the original documents,
No,
right?
not like
The
me.
same,
I didn't want those.
like you?
No, not like me.
Oh, but you said the people make the government.
I said people, not me. I didn't vote for the 3/5 compromise. Did you vote for it?
Okay,
Did
so who
you
had control
vote
over that,
for
though?
it? Answer the fucking question or I'll drop you. Did you vote for it?
No,
And
I
neither
wasn't
did
here.
and neither did the fucking I. So don't put this in my court. I didn't vote for that shit.
But that's how governments are made.
I wasn't there. I didn't vote for it.
But everybody stands behind nationalism.
No, I don't. I don't stand behind Christian nationalism. I stand behind a
No,
federal
not
government that manages a series of states that
no,
are independent
no.
but still have to
The
answer to the federal
original,
government.
the originality of national identity. It used to be tribes. Then people were like, "Hold on, wait a second. Let's all stand behind this one. We need to unite people." You do know that history, though.
Yeah, I
I'm
do know
sure.
how federal governments work. Yeah, I actually went to school.
Yeah, how nations were made. So, but the thing is it doesn't escape that the debt that the government asked to borrow from private bankers, international bankers, Rothschilds, you
They
know what I'm
don't. That
saying,
none of that happens. You're
the
lying.
Morgans, the
Nope, you're wrong.
Rockefellers.
That's conspiracy theory.
Well,
None of that's true.
the Federal Reserve,
Our
dude.
money is created by the Federal Reserve. They don't borrow money from the
Right,
Rockefellers. They make bonds. They sell bonds to finance the money that they print.
dude.
And then don't fucking interrupt me. Then they sell those bonds to willingly buying owners of bonds. I personally own some of those bonds. That's how we finance the US financial system. The federal government prints the money. In fact, they don't even print the fucking money. They allow banks themselves to make the money. The mint prints the money, and it's all financed through selling bonds that people willingly purchase. No one's forced to buy any of
And
those
it's all,
bonds. Nobody's forced to buy US dollars.
but it's proven that that's created money. It was actually taken to court and won. A dude had
Money
back
money
in the
doesn't
day, had a
exist.
foreclosure house.
I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
We're trying this again. Money does not exist. Money is a thing that we
Yeah,
invented as a way of tracking value. That's all it is. Money,
but who pays it
money
back?
could be a fucking pen. It could be a piece of paper in my pocket. Money doesn't exist. We invented the monetary system. The monetary system does what we need it to. When we need more money in the system, we print more money. When we don't need more money in the system, we buy back the money and eliminate it from the system. We manage the amount of money in the system. The reason why we manage the amount of money in the system is because it's like a shock absorbing system. We can bounce back from things or we can lessen the blow of certain things by maintaining the amount of money. That's why we don't have hyperinflation in the USA, but they have it in other countries that don't have any economic system that's not based in Keynesian models. There's a reason why we went
So
to the
you
Keynesian
can
model. It's because when we were on the gold standard, it was completely unstable.
they control the money now.
There's no
The families control the
there's no
money.
families. It's the fucking Federal Reserve. And do you know what the Federal Reserve does with all of its profits? Please tell me you know. At the end of the
Well,
year,
you have
when
to
the
look
federal
into like the
stop
CFR,
talking, no
dude.
one can hear you while you're talking over me. No one. Just so we're very clear. Every fucking time you talk while I'm talking, no one hears you. So stop doing it. What happens at the end of the year when the Federal Reserve has money left over? They have a surplus. What do they do with it? What do they do with it? What do you think they do with it?
They're supposed to give it back, I thought.
To who? Who do they give it to?
I think it was supposed to go. I mean, I'm not.
You can say I
complete
don't
study. I
know.
know
If you don't know,
it
say
says
I don't
right here.
know. You can say I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know on this one.
They send it back to the U.S. Treasury, to our economy.
Yep.
The Federal Reserve works for us. This nonsense, garbage conspiracy theory that somehow the Federal Reserve is propped up by Jewish bankers in Europe is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And I hope that you understand that this
Council of Foreign
no one
Relations.
can fucking hear you while you're talking over me. I'll tell you 1,000 times. Every time you do it, you're wasting your breath. Every single time. There's no Jewish bankers in the US or in Europe that are controlling our money system. If you believe that, you're the dumbest person on the planet. And I don't even feel bad for you if you believe that nonsense. But I hope you know that what you're doing is perpetuating harmful and dangerous anti-Semitic talking points, and you should be fucking ashamed of yourself, and your mother should be embarrassed that you're perpetuating harmful anti-Semitic tropes. All right. Now, this conversation has run its course. He has nothing. He's full of conspiracy theories. I'm too tired for it. I'm done with this guy.